Hello, everybody. I am sending out a video since we are starting a new module. So let's get started. We are starting module one. We spend a couple of weeks in each module, and we are going to be spending weeks 3 and 4 in module one. When you come to the news feed, these are some things that I kind of want to review and reiterate. Ed Ready, I've sent another quick start guide here. So if you click here, you should be able to access the quick start guide. I'd heard that some couldn't access these links. I do want to say that you may not be able to access some things unless you are using Google Chrome. If you are using something else, like you might be able to use Firefox. Google Chrome seems to be the preferred way for students to access information. But even Safari might give you some difficulty. I'm going to scroll to the useful resources tab, and I want to make you aware of some new links that I have added. Here's a link to some student support services that are non-academic that you may want to avail yourself of. Again, here are some MLA format links. This is a Merriam-Webster dictionary link. Here's a Microsoft Office 365 tutorial. One thing I really would like for everybody to look at, this writing process, editing and proofreading video. You will see in the rubric toward the bottom a grade for editing and proofreading. Make sure that you are reading aloud your submissions before you turn them in. Also, we're going to be starting to talk about reading strategies and rhetorical appeals. You will need to look at these videos, how to write about rhetorical appeals and common rhetorical devices. But I wanted to show you where those videos were before we get started. Also, over here on the side, there are some student success links that you may want to look at. Okay, let's talk about email. Um, if you look, there's an orange dot here. If you have an orange dot here, you have some unread emails. Make sure that when you click on this, for example, and you click on a link, make sure that you on the drop-down menu have all messages accessed. When you open it, sometimes you may open it. I'm just going to open this one. Sometimes you may open it and it'll have just your class here. Make sure that you have all messages checked so that you can see the messages not only from me, but from your other class. And then when you click on the link, you can access the information down here. And it has my name, my office, and phone number, should you ever need to use that. Let's go to content. I have placed the Ed Ready link here at the top, and it's not embedded in the Getting Started module anymore. I want to let you know that Ed Ready, some of you have done the diagnostic and you've done a great job, but this is a personalized, customized learning path. That means that each of you will get different questions depending on how you answer and how you do. I really like this because this is like having a personal tutor, and it diagnoses and targets your individual issues. So you will need to make sure that each week that you are completing part of it. For those of you that have done the diagnostic, you may have noticed that even though you got, a 40 or a 50 or a 60 or a 70, that when you got your grade that it was 100. This is just a progress. Whatever you make in Ed Ready, you will get 100 in your grade. And I'm going to click on grade here to show you how to access your grades. You should all have a discussion getting started grade. And over here, you will see my comments and how it was assessed. Your reading responses, your writing activities, your getting started writing activity will be here. So you should already have a grade here. You should already have a grade here. Of course, your final grade, the scavenger hunt, you already have. You will get a grade for your diagnostic here. This is where you got the 100 again, no matter what your grade was, because this is just showing that you are completing some lessons. And then for each week, you will get an Ed Ready grade. And of course, your attendance grade will go here. So make sure that you are completing a lesson every week, and it will take you on your own personalized learning path. This is where you can check your attendance. If you click on activities and attendance and click on this link, you should have 100. If everybody that has done anything or turned in any lessons, you get marked for attendance. This was your first week. I don't think I have put anything in for this past week, but I will today or tomorrow. So each week you will get an attendance grade because that is 10% of your grade, by the way. Back to content, there's Ed Ready. You have completed the Getting Started module. I do want to show you, for those who may be still struggling with how to format um, your assignments in MLA, there is a template here that shows you that shows you the font size and the font type, but you may also download the template. And if you download the template, and I may have to, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if you can. If you double click, you can put your name, double click and put my name or your 1010 teacher. This class is 0900N02. Your date should always go day first, month, year. Make sure you put a title. And then you will just click here at the beginning, go to the bottom and just delete everything. And then this is where you will begin because see how it's indented? That's part of MLA format as well. Okay. Let me go back to the other screen. So going to content, getting started module, this is what you saw. And then you have done these assignments, your writing activity, your educational journey, your discussion, and you've completed the scavenger hunt. Once you go to module 1, things are a little bit different. At the beginning of every module moving forward, there are content information pages that you will need to read. This will tell you all of the topics that are going to be addressed in the module. This is kind of the table of contents page to tell you what topics are going to be covered. Click begin and it starts a slideshow. There are 10 lessons. They're fairly brief, but do make sure that you look at them so that you know what is going to be tested or the information that you will need to understand. And a lot of this will also be in your Ed Ready. Learning vocabulary skills. If you ever come across anything before you get to the blue continue button, make sure you go to that web page, and here are some vocabulary strategies. You continue through and read all of the information that's in these module content pages, context clues. It'll have some activities for you to do, for you to look at. And again, this is important information not only for here, but for your composition classes. Make sure you read the examples. Again, as you can see, they're very short. Strategies for reading success. This talks about pre-reading, active reading, and post-reading activities. This tells you what you should do before you read. And it gives you several strategies. Notice that it gives you 5 of them. Please look through these. And then it summarizes them. And you can come back and look at these anytime. These are active reading strategies. Same thing, click through those. You can click here, or you can start the slideshow there. And there are some post-reading strategies. Lesson 7 is rhetoric. Remember at the beginning when I went over the resources, there were some videos on what rhetoric is. You can look at these, but you can also avail yourself of the videos. There's also a video on the rhetorical situation. Rhetorical appeals, ethos, pathos, and logos. There's a video on that as well on the resources page, but there's also information here that will help to solidify, and it gives you some ethos strategies. Make sure you click through these because later in this course and in composition, you're going to have to identify them in your readings. There's some common pathos or pathos. As you can see, this is where we get the word sympathy or empathy, and then logos. These are strategies that all writers use and that all readers need to understand in order to comprehend text. And then logical fallacies, and I've got a video on the resources page about this as well. This is a list of fallacies from Purdue OWL. Again, make sure that you look through these. These are things that you will be tested on or that you are expected to know to make you a better reader and writer. This is a class of skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Once you finish that, it will take you to the first assignment, which is blue collar brilliance. And I'm going to go back here because this is where active reading blue collar brilliance is. And it will take you through active reading. This is before you read, and there are 4 questions. You have to click next in order to do the during reading. So make sure that you do those. But I will show you. I'm going to go to the forms, which is where I found, again, this is where you can find in your email, in your chat state email, you can find Word here, Microsoft Forms, and here's Blue Collar Brilliance. They're actually, this is the before you read section, while you are reading it section, and after reading. So you'll need to answer the questions in all of those sections. Also, from your email, I showed you in the Getting Started module how to download. You can also access micro, because this is free. You may as well use it. And if you don't, when you click on this 3x3 grid, if you don't have this, please contact the IT department and give them your A number because you should have, this is free. You pay for it with your tuition or you get it anyway, even if you're on, it doesn't matter if you have this. So if you click on Word, you can create a blank document and see this says you opened this 57 minutes ago and it gives you a template of your own. And it doesn't matter if you X out of it, it will always be there waiting for you. If you get here and you don't have the MLA template, see, this has everything that I've ever done since I've been here at college. You can type MLA here in other templates, and it'll take you, excuse me, to a place where you can download an MLA template, and you will always have it. And then you double click, don't hit enter, don't do anything, type your name, double click here, put my name, double click here, put your course, double click here, day, month, year. And then if you click here, you can just put your name and it'll be there. Close preview. Put your title, delete all, and make sure you go all the way to the bottom because there's some charts and tables and all kinds of stuff down there. Delete, and if you're there, hit enter, and it's already indented for you. So you don't have to figure out how to do MLA format. There's also a template in Google Docs if you use Google Docs. But there's a video that shows you how to do that same kind of thing. All right. Back to content. So the only activities that you have for module one reading strategies. Once you've done this, you've got your assignments. This is your active reading blue collar brilliance, your discussion one, which is due Friday, right? Discussions are Friday. Anything having to do with reading is Wednesday. Anything having to do with writing is always on Sundays. So this is due, or you can start this whenever it opens. And I think it's open now. Your discussion will be due Friday. Reading response is going to be next Wednesday, not this coming Wednesday, because you're still working on your Ed Ready, and that's considered reading. And then your writing activity is going to be due Sunday. I believe that's all I wanted to show you. Yeah, this is if you want to access our tutoring center, you can go here. Some of you that have the 1010 class on ground have already come by. I've already had a few people come by my office, and that was a very profitable situation. So I do appreciate that. If you ever want to book a meeting with me, let's see, I'm going to start a new mail. Let's say if I'm going to send a mail to somebody, if you look down here at the bottom, it says book time to meet with me. You can click on that and it gives you some times that you can come in. But my goal is for you to be successful. I want you to be a better reader, writer, listener, and speaker. I want to give you the same access that anybody in my on ground class would have. So please, communication is key. I think that's it. So hope you're enjoying the course, and I will talk to you in the next one.